right. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Wake Up Duval County. We have another special episode for you today. Today is the film episode, and we have our two special guests. We have
Carlos, aka Los 2K, filmmaker here in Duval County.
I'm Dana Michelle, and I'm excited to be here.
Cool. That's what's up. That's what we do here. The first question I want to start off for both of you guys, since this is a film episode, and
right.
all of us sitting here are filmmakers.
Right.
What was the first movie that made you look at films differently?
That's a great question, actually. For me, I would go back to the early days of John Singleton, the Boys in the Hood, the Higher Learnings, the Baby Boys. Like those films, kind of like changed the game for me as a filmmaker. Well, obviously, of course, we've seen when we get understand it better when we get older, but those would kind of like show me what was possible from a black filmmaker, and of course, of everything he has accomplished. Things F. Gary Gray did, going from Friday to Straight Outta Compton to Fast and Furious, stuff like that. So, it's a lot of movies I can talk about, but those are like the first few I can think off the top of my head.
Okay. A movie that I would watch every time it came on, no matter what, and I remember watching it with my mom a lot, is a movie called Moonstruck. And it's a love story with Cher and Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Have y'all seen that?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Oh, my God. And I think just being a young girl watching that with my mom and us just bonding over the love story really resonated with me because of how it made me feel. And I think a lot of filmmakers repeat this a lot, but it's so true that film is one of the strongest emotional triggers for people.
Absolutely.
And even with I call them millennials, but I don't know if I'm in the millennial age group or not, but younger people learn through moving pictures, and film has been used so often to be an educational tool. Everybody talks about YouTube University. You see people doing master's classes.
Right.
It really speaks to the heart and the soul, and I think that the emotions I felt watching Moonstruck stuck with me even into adulthood. And I said, I want to make movies. I want to make art that makes people feel the way that movie made me feel.
With me, I think that I've always been enamored with emotions and bringing emotions out of people. And I think that without knowing that I had it in me, because, as black boys, we grow up and everybody kind of want to dim our light, you know what I mean? Because we troublemakers, quote unquote. So, I remember watching, Martin. I remember watching, Will Smith and, impersonating these characters, like Chris Rock. And I think that's where, it started. Just multiple films, seeing Chris Rock play in Money Talks, and then seeing Rashad and Dead Presidents, you know what I mean? Seeing Martin play all these different characters. And it's just seeing Jamie Foxx, all these guys, they was it's a fantasy world, you know what I mean? And, I kind of grew up a liar. So it's I look at acting as
Why you say you grew up a liar? What? On the positive note or a negative
Because I grew up a liar because, I was misguided. I was, looking for approval all the time. So, I kind of lied. We was poor, so I used to steal. So it's I learned to lie for everything. You know what I mean?
Was that a part of your creative expression, that you would make up stories? And
not just that, just I would put myself in situations and lie myself out of it, and it would work. So it's kind of I looked at acting as acting ain't nothing but lying. It's really just lying. It's really just taking a character and you're lying as that character. You know what I mean? It's the same kind of definition. I'm acting to get you to believe that I'm somebody that I'm not. That's what a lie is. I'm trying to get you to believe something that isn't the truth.
But a lie comes off more deceptive.
Yeah, no. But I'm just.
I think it's a little deeper.
Yeah, that's why I say I took that. I took a bad trait about myself, and I turned it into something that and with acting, I really take pride in it. I watch movies, I study guys, I study directors, I study writers, I watch the round tables. I do a lot of research just to be informed, because I feel the more informed you are, the better the product is, so
absolutely.
I think that's when my started. It wasn't a specific film, it was specific people, like you mentioned John Singleton, Boys in the Hood. in our community, we're very affected by what we see because it's so real to us. Like,
Right.
Boys in the Hood was real. Menace to Society was real movies. Like, Lean on Me, I'm from Patterson, New Jersey. Like, Lean on Me, the Eastside High School, like, you smoke crack, don't you? Like, the high school was still like that when I was coming up. You know what I mean? My mother didn't want me to go there because it was still happening just like it was when Lean on Me came out. So it's like, you know, we saw these movies and we was really influenced by them because it's really our childhoods or it's really our trauma. So it's kind of like naturally, if you like imagination, I think at some point you're gonna go into entertainment or film or, you know, theater, like, because it's your out. You know what I mean?
I just want to honor your imagination. That was a wonderful story.
Appreciate
Provides
it.
a little
Appreciate it.
insight to
Appreciate
the kind
it.
of person you are. And I think even what you said about being a young black boy, I have 3 sons.
Yeah.
And we have to feed their imagination in a positive way.
Yeah.
And when you start to see whatever the behaviors are that are a sign that they
Yeah.
are creative, it may be telling lies. For my 8-year-old, he has a big imagination. And
Yeah.
the average person might call him a liar too, because he'll be like, "Mommy, Daddy's on the way home." No, he's not. He's
Right.
not in the garage. You know, he's making up
Right.
stories. And so I try to redirect that energy
Yeah.
to something positive and say, because he likes to tell big stories, I say, "Tell me about your day."
Right.
And he tells me about his school day using all these big emotions, and he gets really dramatic with, "And Mommy, guess what?" And you know, he gets into it. So
Right.
I honor your imagination because it
Appreciate
made me
it.
think of my son.
Appreciate it. Yeah. I don't know. You know, I grew through experiences and I just, you know, as a father myself, I try to look at things from an open scope. Like, I wasn't necessarily a bad kid, but it was hard because I was super smart, but I was raised in like the projects in the urban area. So it's a lot of distractions. You know what I mean? So you will be misguided if you're around the wrong people. And I was an only child, so I had a lot of time to just play with my imagination, and I was on punishment all the time.
But you know what though? You know what the beautiful thing about film in the first place is it's a way to express yourself as a person and also to speak your truth in so
Right.
many different
Right.
fashions. So, but you can also see. There's a lot of biopics out here right now, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of the big thing. Of course, Bob Marley just
Go
came
watch
out.
One Love right now.
I'm
Bob Marley.
seeing Bob Marley on Saturday.
I'm going to see it next week. I got some stuff
It's
going on.
because it is Black History Month. Please go see Black cinema, Black films made by Black filmmakers. Because when we support, they greenlight them.
Yeah.
And so we want to support that. The Asians are doing it.
Yeah.
The Asians go and support all their films, and so please show love to any Black films y'all see coming out today and every day.
Look, y'all know when y'all start,
Especially in your community.
You know, when you start
Especially
potting
in
about
your
film,
community.
that's my bag. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I pot about film all day. It's a lot of things that we need to address in our community when it comes to support for Black cinema and stuff. Because a lot of times, like, you know, I literally got a whole note in my notepad on the app of shows that we have on each app. So like, I had the homies be like, "Yo, what show you watching now?" And I'm like, "All right, well, you know, what you looking for?" "Oh, I want some comedy." Well, on HBO we got Southside, we got what's my girls, the Black Lady sketch show.
Oh, you tell me that. You tell me that all the time. Actually.
So you know what I'm saying? So like, but the problem is that we don't show enough support for them long term. So they get 2 seasons, 3 seasons, and they out of here. Like, look at Rap Shit. Like, Rap Shit,
Right.
You know
That's
what
a
I'm
crime.
saying? You know what I mean? Like, so like,
That's a crime.
but it's like you got like, we take it personal. But I think that sometimes we look at it as black and white, but a lot of times Hollywood looks at it as green. The reason why Issa Rae got so many seasons of Insecure was because she kept producing and we kept supporting her. You know what I mean? Like, whenever an Insecure episode dropped, that's all we talked about. But when Rap Shit dropped, we didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? When Southside dropped, we didn't do that. And it could be partly exposure and dollars in the marketing, but we got to kind of like, unfortunately, in our community, we always got to do extra work to get our creators
Absolutely.
up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Absolutely.
So it's like, you know, go see Bob Marley One Love. Go watch the documentary. That documentary like really exposed me to like Bob Marley's background, his life, because you don't know a lot of stuff about him, you know, if you never really like read the book or like looked at the documentary, because he was so much more than just the music. You understand a lot why he's like a pariah. Like, he really was a beam of light for a community of people, not just black people, not just Jamaicans, like for
Oppressed people.
like literally oppressed people
Literally,
of
yeah.
all colors. You know what I mean? So shout out to Bob Marley and his impact. Go see the film.
So my question is to both of you guys: what is your process for filmmaking. Are you involved in everything? Are you involved in screenwriting, directing, producing, all of that? Like, what's your process and how do you go about it? Because for me, I had to do all this on my own with my movie this I just finished, and I'm like, yo, this is a lot of work, but I love it because it's fun. It's like I see this is what I'm meant to be doing. Yes, you.
Okay. Interesting question, because I'm actually in the pre-production phase of a project right now, and I started by declaring that I was not going to do everything on this project. And I had a meeting with a graphic designer who I wanted to help me do the marketing for it and the movie poster. And I told my husband, yeah, I'm going to meet with, my guy. And he's like, but you normally do the graphic design. You're an artist. And I say, yes, but I'm not doing it this time because I want to share the load, number one. And the vision is bigger than me. Right. And so I need to give the baby everything the baby needs. And I'm not the source of everything the baby needs. Right. And so I want to share with beautiful artists who can collaborate with me to give the project its full life. However, when you're first starting out and you're in the grind phase and also the learning phase, it's one, smart to get your hands involved in every process of the filmmaking. And then number two, sometimes to save money, save time, or as you're expanding your network, the demand calls for you to do everything. Right. And I'm a student of the 48-hour film project, and Toya know about this. You have to get it done. So if it ain't nobody to do it, you have to do it. And so I'm appreciative of those experiences where I did have to do everything. And there's beauty and growth in those places. But I'm also appreciative that I have the budget this time and the network this time to share the burden and share the blessing of the filmmaking.
Yeah, that's really important. That's really important. That's really important. Yeah.
That's what part.
Can we talk?
Absolutely.
Thank
you. Yeah, that's important.
Oh yeah. The song.
By yourself.
That's one thing that I know it from music to film. Like, I've just learned that it's really hard to find consistent success without a team. Regardless of how good you are at whatever you do, it's kind of like, if you want to take that next step, you have to trust people, which is also hard within its own, because as creators, everybody don't work as hard as you do, especially when it comes to your art. You know what I mean? Like, they might be a part of it because they excited about the opportunity,
but they really don't see the vision.
You know what I mean? And Los, like, we've done X amount of films together. We've seen people talk about how much they want to be on a project, and then you provide the opportunities, and they're not there. Like speak to that of, like, how do you cast as a director? Like, what are you looking for? And what are some things that you do not like when people go about trying to get in your films?
Well, the one thing I don't like is people like you. The biggest thing is a lot of people say they want to be in the movies all day. But again, the biggest thing is just not coming to the casting call. And I'm very attentive about it. I'm very vocal about it. I speak. I go live pretty often about it. Like, I let people know what's going on. So I don't want them to be like, oh, I didn't know about it. Like, I try to let people know everything ahead of time. Right. Just so you have all the information you need before the casting call happens. So even I've extended myself to do virtual casting calls as well. Like, so in other words, it's no way that you cannot do it if you really want to be a part of it.
Right.
Right. You know what I mean? So that's a thing for me that I always got them. And then when the film comes out, they get mad for not being in it, but you didn't come to the casting call. You didn't do any of that stuff. So that gets me. But as far as the process of everything on my end,
because you do everything yourself too, bro.
For the most part, yeah.
I've been fussing you out for like the last X amount of years on trying to do everything yourself, and it ties into her point of So where are we at now? Like, are you like seeing, like, do you look in the mirror? Like, as an artist, as a creator, as a human, I look in the mirror often to try to figure out what I need to fix about myself.
Right.
Like, what do you do when you look in the mirror as a creator? What do you see in yourself to say, I need to improve on this in order to expand my brand or to improve my craft?
Not trying to do everything myself, just like she said. Like, try to do everything yourself. I mean, I can, but it's not recommended.
So how do you not do it yourself
Word.
no more? Because I see you working more with Mike. You know what I mean? And you use your brother. Shout out to
Billy. Yes,
so
sir.
how do you do that step? Like, because a lot of people want to make that step of, I'm tired of doing it all by myself. Like, how do I make that step though to where I'm kind of like, not hands on with every single thing?
Exactly. So the biggest thing is kind of jot down everything that needs to be done. So that's the biggest thing. So I can kind of give myself a checklist. Me, I'm okay with handling certain. Of course, at the end of the day, you're gonna handle most of it. But the stuff that you feel like, okay, somebody else can do it. Of course, I'm gonna hit my brother up and reach out to Mike.
Right.
So for the things I choose not to do, or it feel like I'd be too overwhelming for me, that's when I reach out to people I can trust and be like, hey, I need your help. With the filming, the marketing, all this good stuff that I can't really do myself. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of go that. It's just really just asking people.
You should start waiting until like you can't do it no more though.
Yeah, that too. So
you know what I mean? I think that we got this thing where we like reactive instead of proactive. Like if we set ourselves up from the beginning, we could, lessen a lot of the stress on ourselves at the end, when we get towards the end goal.
And that's the biggest thing I changed about this time around is that I plan everything ahead of time. As far as like who I'm going to reach out to help, what I need to do. Like I've been, the movie I'm doing now, the movie I'm, getting ready to do now, The Future Soul. So I started writing the script back in July of last year. So I've literally been playing the movie since then, and it's as long as I've ever taken to plan anything. The script itself took a few months to write, and from that point, I took that extra initiative to like write down all the locations I need, reach out to all the people I need to reach out to as far as what locations I need to lock in, and then kind of like put some sort of schedule together to get the filming done. But The Future Soul itself is it's a sci-fi drama, and that's why I'm excited about it most because I wanted to do something.
Come on, black man with the sci-fi
Right,
drama.
right.
Come on,
Try to
black
do something
man.
different.
Come on,
What can
come on.
you tell the viewers about the film without giving too much away?
Well, I'll go on the drama parts of it first. So the drama parts is like it's kind of a love letter to because parts of this movie is based on my sister that passed away. And
Rest in peace to her.
And my stepbrother that passed away. So it's the first time I kind of like wrote about it since that time happened. So that was very hard for me personally, but it was also therapeutic as well. So it's a chance for me to honor them on the drama side of the film. And also, the drama side is more of a family kind of drama going on, but the sci-fi, and when the sci-fi parts of it is a time travel part of it too, that kind of revisits some things, but the way that I did it is like very unique. Okay. So you got from this wealthy man trying to fix his life together, and this wealthy guy's trying to fix his life, and the marriage falls apart. He falls out with his brother because his brother locked up, and let's see, there's a couple other things. I'm trying not to reveal too much. I don't want to reveal too much. I did, but
the gist of it is, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What? Just give me a summary, like a quick summary, bang.
In other words, it's basically like a wealthy man trying to fix his reputation, and he's going like beyond measures to fix it. Yeah, so that's what's going on.
So he's trying to pull a Lex Luthor and invest in like time machines and all that.
He's trying to do all that craziness.
Oh wow, it's gonna be wild.
And of course, I mean, now we all have seen time travel movies and stuff like that. But the thing about this one specifically, the way I did the twist on this, the twist that's going to happen in this film is insane. So that's what I'm looking forward to seeing.
And what day is the casting call?
So it's Sunday. Actually, this Sunday, February 18th. Okay. From 2 to 5 p.m.
Where at?
Mixed Therapy Studio.
Mixed Therapy Studio. And you got that? You know the address?
I think it's
9951 Atlantic Boulevard. I think we all know that address.
Yeah, I do almost all.
Shout out to Mixed Therapy.
Yeah, shout out to Mixed Therapy. You know what? To be honest with you, when it comes to who I'm looking for, I'm very open-minded when it comes to like the casting call in general, because I may think of one like image or visual of a character, but then somebody else shows up and they completely nail it. So I'm very open-minded. As long as you fit the ethnicity and the age range, I say go for it. You just never know. So
I think that you just gotta trust yourself at casting calls.
Yeah, exactly.
Like trust yourself to like dive into the character. Like I think oftentimes I see people go to casting calls and they're essentially themselves just reading, and it's like, no, take the time to sit back there, read over it, discover that character really fast, and figure out how you gonna address that character, because you really have to dive in. You know what I mean? A lot of people think acting is just getting on the camera and just rocking with it, but it's like, nah, like you really got to create a backstory for the character and everything. So like, when
you gotta get them to believe a lot.
And,
correct.
And the cool thing is I have,
and all that.
yeah, and the cool thing is like in the sides, you know, I have sides available at the casting call, of course. It has a little bit of a description of what's going on in the scene.
For sure.
Just so they know exactly what's going on, they know the tone, so they ain't got to go in there.
Yeah, that helps tremendously. As an actor, I like to have that paragraph of what is my character wearing, like how does he feel, like what is his mindset at this moment, so that I know like, okay, this energy may need to be heightened for this character.
Exactly.
You know? You know when you gonna start filming?
It's gonna be early March.
March.
Yeah, so we're gonna do our table read and
Right, like next week.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna do our table read in first week of March, and then pretty much mid March onward, we'll be doing the film.
You got like a soundtrack or anything? I'm just asking.
Hey, but you know that's in the works.
He gonna pump it.
You know that's in the works though. That's in the works. You know.
Okay.
I've not had a soundtrack done since the first solo back in 2016,
which I was on.
Which he was on as well. So that was literally 7
But
years
I heard
ago.
like something about this specific soundtrack, like, you know what I mean? Like I heard like somebody's curating it or something like that.
Oh,
like,
my guy to my right here, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, me.
Yeah,
that's crazy,
So-
man.
so-
That's crazy, yo.
No,
That's
but-
crazy.
Yeah, you know, because I wanted to
Dang.
have a soundtrack for it as well, and but I mean, of course, there's more I could dig into, but you know, but
Yeah, man, y'all ain't getting none of that, man. Just know that, you know, I get to, Los gave me an opportunity to get my Kendrick Lamar on. If y'all were familiar with the Black Panther soundtrack, Kendrick curated that whole soundtrack, and it was amazingly done. That's my goal, planning on working with a bunch of artists here. Once Los finally give me the script and I can read through it and figure out what we want the energy to be. But yeah, we're gonna make a dope ass soundtrack for this. I can't wait. Hopefully Los give me a part in the movie, so I ain't gotta like sit at the theater crying on premiere day. You know,
hey, but I mean, I know.
See you Sunday.
Yeah, see you Sunday, my brother.
it's crazy because I got to film Sunday. That's crazy.
Hey, we got
figured
virtual.
out because
got virtual,
I've seen
too.
you at work. I don't mean to cut you off. I've
you
seen
good?
you
Yeah.
at work and I've seen you do your thing. We've literally performed together and you just dip.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you'll figure it out.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? Because that's the sacrifices we make to, you know,
Right.
elevate.
What you want, right?
Yeah,
All right. I have two questions for you. I have a question for y'all, but I gotta.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's why I want to.
I'm looking at my notes. You've done like the 48-hour film festival. I heard you say it before. So, do you prefer short films or as opposed to feature lengths? And what's the pros and cons for both of them? For you, what you think?
I prefer any project that can pay for itself.
Hey, talk my
Good answer.
Straight
lingo.
up.
Hey,
So
talk my
I
lingo.
have been cutting my teeth on the 48-hour film project. Shout out to Adam and Monique Madrid.
That's my family
who I
right
adore.
there. Adam and Mo is family. That's family right there.
They are such jewels in our city when it comes to the film community because they are going to be your biggest hype man, and they're professional.
Facts.
They
Right.
have integrity, and
For
they are
sure.
just so kind and supportive. And so I've been cutting my teeth on the 48 for a few years, and I started out on another team, but I got bold and brave and started my own team. And Toya was part of that. My first award-winning project in that festival.
Hold on, can we get some applause, Mo?
Like, let's
Can we get some applause, Mo?
You just can't just say that with our creator and just she's
Yeah, you know.
She's very talented, and
Of course.
everything she touches just blossoms. And so, your question is, do I prefer short films or not? I'm learning that as much of an artist as I am, it's a business. It's show
For sure,
business. And
100%.
whether you're a photographer, a graphics artist, a dancer, a singer, a filmmaker, there's a business to be had in the arts world. And I am always looking for ways to monetize my art and still stay true to my message. And it's been a little bit of a struggle because I'm still learning the business side of it. I used to do a lot of projects for free. I used to do a lot of projects that I didn't care who saw it. It was just for me.
Right.
But no more.
Right.
No
Right.
more.
Yeah, we're not doing that no more.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Listen, I am right there with you.
Yes.
Right there
And
with
I
right there
think
with you.
there's so much money to be made. And I know that the city of Jacksonville has some monies
Right,
out
they got
there
that money.
for artists of all kinds.
Shout out
And
to
so
the
I
Cultural
implore
Council.
you my comrades to seek those grants out, seek those independent capitalists out, and get your projects paid for, so that you can be paid. And I think it's just rewarding to know that people value you in that way. I think artists will be like, I just want people to see it, or I want people to enjoy it. But the currency is dollars and cents, y'all.
Correct.
And so for people to really show their appreciation, they got to pay.
Correct.
And you were asking earlier about, how do you go beyond doing all the jobs yourself and sharing the project. Philosophically speaking, what I would say is trust. And I think that was said a couple times by Carlos. You gotta find people that you trust. And I remember I worked at a portrait studio. I was a manager, and my district manager would say, Michelle, I want you to find somebody who's like you or better to be on your team. So even though you're the leader of the project, you're the director, whatever role you're in, whoever works with you, beside you, with your whatever, they should be like you or better. Don't be afraid to have talent that's on your team that's better than you. The other thing is network. It may be a college student. It may be somebody who's not in the filmmaking world, like a fundraising expert or an attorney or a makeup artist. And then the last thing I'll say is pay folks. That's pay yourself and pay others. Because how you treat yourself is how you'll treat others. And I'm realizing this has been a very new journey for me, that the way I treated myself ended up how others treated me and how I also treated them. And I want to go like next level. I want to take it up a notch in the community I create for myself. And so I'm telling people I'm working with, particularly on this project, what's your fee? Because I want to pay you. What's your fee? I love paying artists. And that has been like the pitch for me to even ask them to be part of the project. What's your fee? I love to pay artists.
You ready to ask me what's my fee yet?
What's your fee, bro?
Well, it's $300 a day depending on what we're doing.
Okay.
But
$300 a day for specifically acting. Okay.
Well,
a day rate for acting, $300.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Performances is it depends on performances as well. Because if it's like 6 minutes, then I'm looking for $220, $250. If it's like a full 30 minutes, then I'm looking for $500, $550. So it varies.
That's how you make the plug.
Well, I tell people like artists and actors ask me consistently like, hey bro, like you be doing this, you be doing that, and I don't think they really understand. Like Toya knows, he knows. Like if you saw me early on, I did so many free shows. I probably did like 200 shows within like 3 years, and out of those 200 shows, like 150 of them was probably free. Like, you know what I mean? Or I might have paid just to get seen. You know what I mean? And it's not, I'm not saying that everybody should do it, but I don't like sitting on my hands and waiting. So like, if there's opportunities, I'm going to go find it and put myself in that position. And from there, I just kept making sure that every time I showed up, or if you saw my name on a flyer, you left knowing that I did my job. So, and I built good friendships and relationships. Like I really like show love to people outside of art. Even if I don't work I tell him all the time how amazing he is, and we never worked together. You know what I mean? Like I've seen it, you know what I mean, firsthand. I'm big on showing love to people because I know how big it was to me when nobody knew me and that one person was at my shows like, hey bro, you killed that. And I'm leaving like, dang bro, it was so many new people. And now I go to shows and legit people singing my songs because I put in a lot of work. But that is required to figure out how good you are, or also what your flaws are and what you need to do better at.
Right.
So like I implore all creators, like if you want to create, go create. Like don't hold yourself back by doubting yourself and putting restrictions on yourself before you even figure out how far you can go. However, do it realistically, because like she said, it is a business, bro. Like this is not, it's a passion. A guy told me once, he said, yeah, it's a passion until you start trying to sell it to other people.
Points.
Like the minute you start, minute you put your art out, it's no longer yours. It's theirs. It's theirs for consumption. And if you want to be an artist and just, make music for yourself, perfectly fine. Do that. But don't think about how it's affecting other people because you aren't moving in that manner. A lot of artists here, and this is film, they don't get paid because you're not trying to get paid. I literally told people, I tell my homies, like, you hit me up now, like, yes, I used to do free shows for you. I'm not doing that no more, bro. And I hope you respect me enough to understand the reason why. Like, I put money into the studio. I buy outfits. Every time I got a show, I'm buying a new outfit. Like, I put into my art and my brand. So respect me as a brand just as you would if Jeezy showed in town, just as you would if Beyonce showed in town. And I'm not saying I'm them. However, I put as much work into my own brand equivalent wise, because obviously they are mega corporations, but respect the work that I put in, and I'm gonna do the same because I want to see what I told you when we was doing the soundtrack. I said I need this much money because I want to make sure I pay other artists.
Yeah, that's the first thing I asked him too.
I hate the fact that filmmakers here and I've done it with him. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand if you ain't got the budget, we could work it out. You know what I mean? Like give me a percentage or something. Like he gave me a percentage. He couldn't pay me. He gave me a percentage of Soul Hood. I get paid off of Soul for the rest of my life. If it ever goes viral when we make millions, I get paid forever because he decided to do that. When it goes, you know what I mean? But like figure that out, you know what I mean? As an artist, you have to determine your worth. Nobody can tell you that you're not worth $200. Right. Nobody can tell you you're not worth $50. But determine that worth and stick on that. Stand on that business and show them that you're worth it. Don't just think that you're supposed to get the money because you got a couple of you got 5 friends that came with you. You need to what I mean? You really gotta like show, like sell out a movie theater. You really gotta sell out a show. Like you have to show your worth and put that work in order to get to that next step. So I implore all creators, you know what I'm saying, to really study, do your background research on ways how you can make money through the grants. As an artist, I hated the fact I wasn't getting paid from shows, so I went and started writing music for film and TV. Got me money real quick, and I was like, oh, this is what it's like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I need to do this more often, but you have to go search for it because nobody's gonna give it to you. This is not that community. I'm sorry. I wish we were like that, but we don't just give game away all the time. You got certain pockets, but it's hard, you know what I mean? And sometimes you just have to find your way.
Yeah, and to add on to what you're saying, like, and I really agree with, like, there's people that only did like a few things and expecting everything like that. You know what I mean? You got to put the work in. You got to put your time in because, at the end of the day, like, if you don't have anything to prove, then you can't be expecting to make money out of it. You got to, like, get to that point first.
You got to prove it to yourself.
You got to prove it to yourself, too. Like, you got to get to yourself to that point. Like, I've been doing film videography / filmmaking for 18 years now, actually. I didn't do my first movie till 2012, 2013. But since that point, I've been growing, and of course, obviously, been doing everything I've been doing now.
Life flex.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's all growth, you know what I'm saying?
They both been flexing the whole interview. She was flexing so hard. She was, I'm a manager here. I did WJST here, but we
but it's something to be proud about.
For sure.
It's something to definitely be proud of. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
I remember when I did AMC when we did that for the first time back. That was 7 years ago. It's crazy. That's crazy.
We've done it so many times. It's become the norm, though. A lot of people don't think about it. Like, we sold out the first Soul Hood. We sold out AMC 3 times on 2 different showings. Like 3 theaters on 2 different showings. Like, I hadn't seen that being done since I've been here, and we was one of the first. I think we were the first ones to really do it, to be honest. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, no, I would vouch to say you are because you were the first person that I seen doing that.
That's because you know what I'm saying. Like
aside from the Havana Jacks, I've never seen that before.
But you know what? To add on to that as well. But another important thing when it comes to your art is use your resources. That's very important because, like, you have more resources. I'm sorry, you have more resources than you think you have.
Right.
Like that. That's true. That's how I was able to get AMC because of resources. That's how I was able to get Regal last year when we premiered the finale. That was through resources. Do
you think that the reason why we don't use our resources though is because in our community we're taught to stand on our own? So it's like you don't really want to bother somebody. Like you want to show them you can make it on your own.
That was my thought process too.
I'd be scared.
That was my thought process.
It's a mixture of all of that because, like you said before, it's like some people not giving away the game for free.
Right.
Some people, or you do have that mentality. I gotta show I got it out of the mud, or I'm scared, or like you said, I am scared because I'm like he probably have a million people asking him questions. And he probably like, man, whatever. So let me figure it out because I ain't trying to be on his dick or whatever. He'll notice what I'm doing sooner or later, so that's how I look at it. But it is definitely all of that, and we have to get out of that mentality.
Yeah, I was there too. I was definitely Louie. Like I was there. Like I was very hesitant to ask for help. You know what I'm saying? At one point in time. So, but then once you realize how important it is to get the help you need, because you really can't do everything yourself. If you expected to go somewhere like beyond your imagination, beyond your goals, you need a team. You need help.
I think that people also have to not be afraid. Like with you, right? We have, me, like I'm very open. Like I don't hold back from my friends. I'm not gonna say anything disrespectful, but I am gonna be honest with you. And if you know somebody like Los is very kind-hearted. So like if I work with Los as a director, I know that he's not gonna want to say certain things to certain actors because he doesn't want to. He's a nice person. Los is a teddy bear. So me knowing that, you know what I mean, I'm not I'm straightforward. Like I'm gonna tell you what it is, you know what I mean?
He's my translator.
So I literally like what's the Kid Pill skit where he got like Barack Obama's talking and he hey, so you know we have to get everything. He says you all like that's me, you know what I mean? Like because I understand like when somebody like Los is like he's not outspoken, you know what I mean? He just wants to do the right thing. So me knowing that, you know, he don't want to disrupt. I don't care about disrupting because I know it's for the right cause. Like I'm not doing nothing disrespectful to nobody.
That is so interesting. I had a coffee date with my girlfriend this morning, and she said, Dana, you too nice, but put me on the phone. I'll tell him because I'm real petty. And I said, well, I will do that because I'm not going there, but you will. And I think that's part of your network. You need people who will compliment you. And if it's not your leading strength, you know, maybe they have it and they can help you fill in the gaps. And I had a friend of mine pray for me, and she prayed that I would have destiny helpers. And I think as we're talking about our passions as artists and the filmmaking industry, I believe that as artists, we do get those visions that are really just too big for us to carry on our own, and you need destiny helpers to get you there. And when you connect with those people, what I've experienced, we talked about, you know, having to put aside the fears of asking for help. I started checking my own ego. Like, why can't I ask for help? What is the insecurity from me with letting people in? Or what is my fear of disappointment? Is it my fear of being let down? And in my journey, which I started very recently, I had to put that aside and say, I need to prepare myself to be disappointed, prepare myself to be let down, because every closed door gets you to the next open door. And so talking about destiny helpers, I think as artists, we do have to give ourselves healthy ways to be vulnerable. So that we can attract the things that we need. Because if you act like you don't need nothing, then how can you get the resources you want? If you don't act like you want to get paid, how can you attract people who want to pay you? If you don't act like you want to get somebody to help you write, how can you attract that? And I realized, I just got chills about saying that. That was for me.
That's a fact.
I'm like, you know, you have a prayer list, or you manifesting things or whatever, but you're not vulnerable enough to attract the very thing you want. And so we have to be okay with a healthy dose of vulnerability. So we can make the connections we need.
Therapy, y'all know me. I be promoting all the time because I was that guy. Like I was, like even though I just say I speak up for him, I won't do it for myself. I'm still that way because like I care about people and I care about how people feel. So sometimes I will really bite my tongue until it burns me up inside and I have no choice but to say it. But like I don't like ruffling feathers, you know what I mean? So if I could avoid it, I will. But
for yourself, but you'll do it for others.
Correct. So it's like
you got to be a champion for yourself.
I do terrible. And my therapist tells me all the time, like she said, you love people so much, but you don't love yourself the same way. And that's a part of it. You know what I mean? I grew up a certain way. You know, we don't got to rewind our time, but it's when you grow up a certain way, you develop certain habits. And their defensive mechanisms, you know what I mean? And it's trauma-based things that you move with. So I'm breaking through that, you know, I'm getting better at it, which helped me. Another thing was being open to the criticism. Like I was dating someone and we went to a show and I liked the people there, you know, this and that third. But we had been waiting, my performance time got pushed back. And she said, why are you doing this? And I was like, what you mean? Like, you know, they asked me to perform, you're bigger than this. And I was like, you know, I looked around for a second and I'm very humble. I was just homeless 4 years ago. I'm never going to act like I'm more than I'm not. However, I did work a lot to get to where I am. You know what I mean? And I'm grateful for that. Me being thankful for that is not me hating on nobody or shitting on nobody. That's the facts. So I'm not going to feel bad no more that I work my way up to a point where, yes, I don't belong in certain rooms. And when she said that to me, I literally stopped performing for 4 months. Until I say, you know what? I'm only going to perform if I really want to and if they pay me my worth. And this year, I've only done 3 performances, but ask me, did I do anything for free this year?
Okay, friend, you are like hitting me in the heart. The phrase that's coming to mind is acceptance levels. Your acceptance levels just went up. If you accepting the stuff at the bottom of the barrel,
You gonna get
how
it.
can you make room for the top shelf stuff?
Yeah,
that's it.
And again, in my very new journey, somebody told me that you gotta stop selling yourself short.
For
you gotta
sure.
stop acting
For
like
sure.
you
So many times.
ain't the
For
stuff.
sure.
And so what you just said really resonated with me, because as I'm pursuing this next project, I'm having to have some conversations with myself and with others that typically are difficult for me,
Mm-hmm.
but my acceptance levels gotta go up because the vision demands it. The destiny demands it. And so I'm praying, God, give me courage, give me
Right.
boldness, boost my self-esteem.
Can
and
we
for
just
women,
close our eyes and hold hands while you say this little prayer? Because I'm
She
saying,
here preaching.
you know, I'm saying though, like,
But do
you know what I
y'all
mean?
agree with
Oh,
that?
for
We
sure,
have to be
100%.
confident
100%,
enough so that we can
100%.
give the vision what it deserves.
And purposeful.
If you don't believe in it, you can't tell anybody else
At
to believe in it.
all.
And believing
At
in
all.
it is believing in
At
you.
all.
Because
At
the
all.
vision has to come through you.
For sure.
You,
For
you
sure.
gotta move with attention. You know what I mean? You gotta move
Yeah.
with attention. Like
Yeah.
like I said, the movie I'm doing now, like this, like I said, it's the first time I've written about my sister since she passed. So like it's like for me, like this is extremely important for me. And I put this out a lot on social media. Like whoever plays her gotta really like bring it, because like you represent a part of me now. Like, you know what
God,
I'm
send
saying?
the right character.
Right,
actress,
right.
Send
You
the
please
right
do.
part of
resources.
my sense of peace and my family a sense of peace as well. So that's why it's like it's even though it's a sci-fi, it's still a personal story
Right.
for me. So you know you gotta be able to like really. But you know, but the beautiful thing as a filmmaker, it is a therapeutic section to write.
Bro.
You know what I mean?
Bro.
That's the best way for me to express
Bro,
myself.
the crazy thing, right? So, you know, I wrote the script for, me and Sam co-wrote the script for Magic, right?
Magic, yeah.
So, like, that's my first time, other than rewriting for you. But this is my first time, like, writing a script from the gist of it. And I just thought it was so amazing, like, building these characters and, like, building up the motivation behind the characters.
Yeah.
And what I also did was draw away from my own inspiration. There's a scene in the movie where like the woman lead, she has to heal like a relationship with her mother, but her mother has passed away. Like, but the reason why her mother had to heal is very similar to me and my mother. I literally took that and wrote into that, and then I started writing. So I'm at work. I was at work, sitting at my desk, and something just hit me. I was like, oh, I want to write a thriller about a man, a veteran that was homeless, went through everything, sleeping in his car. I drew that from my own base, but then I took my imagination and took it somewhere else because I wanted to do a heist type of film, but a thriller. So now, and I'm literally creating this world, but it's like I'm using my real life experiences. Just bits and pieces. I write music, you know what I mean? That's my movies. But is that how y'all see when y'all writing scripts?
So,
Yeah.
so I do a lot of documentaries. That's really
Okay.
my personal interest, and I'm an activist. Two issues that really resonate with me is neighborhood preservation and education.
Oh, wow,
so
yeah.
my next project is about.
Definitely good.
Okay.
Definitely.
My next project is actually about tourism and how politics and race impacts the tourism industry in Jacksonville and why Black communities get neglected. And I'm particularly looking at Moncrief Springs. And when you're talking about the writing process, for me, it kind of comes as a question. And for me, the documentary started out as, well, why don't people come to the North Side to have fun? Why do people who live on the North Side have to go to other parts of town to have fun? Why don't people
Great question.
patronize Black businesses, whether it's a restaurant or a nightclub or a shopping experience? And that's how this story came about, Moncrief
great.
Springs. And there are some jewels. If you live in Moncrief or you live on the North Side, there are some jewels in our community.
Definitely.
And as a people, I'm talking about people who live in Jacksonville, everybody that want to shout Duval. Our former mayor said one city, one Jacksonville, but we don't feel like that.
You know,
We
like
don't
that.
feel like that, and people don't act like that.
Not at all.
And so I'm doing an investigation. I have some really great support. And I'm gonna be looking at, how can I tell this story about the things I love about my neighborhood and why is it under threat? And some of the themes I'm addressing is urban development, conservation. I'm an environmentalist too. I just realized I'm an environmentalist. That's a whole nother conversation. But I love any organization that's about protecting our planet. And I have children, and I'm like, I want the planet to be a safe, healthy place for them as they grow up. They can swim in the beach and be okay. They can breathe fresh air. But anyway, I digress. And then the last theme is recreation. And so the writing process for a documentary is a little different, but it digs into the research of the history of a particular topic, data points. And I'll say this, I learned that $10 million a day comes to Jacksonville through the tourism industry. 10 million. Y'all say 10 million. 10 million, right?
Good question.
It goes where?
It goes to the beaches. It go to San Marco. It go to Arlington. It go to all these other places that are not where black and brown folks are. And so that, again, the question was posed, why not? And so that's why I'm doing that particular documentary.
Wow.
Right, and that's Micro Springs is the name of that.
Yes.
All right. I needed to have. I want more information on this because I'm a product of the North Side.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Grand Park,
Yes.
Murder Ave, a little bit. You know. But anyway, it
Yes.
is just, and you can't help but have a type of activist mentality because you see what's going on in our neighborhoods. You see them turning it into a food desert. You see gentrification. You see like they're tearing up like historic things, historic landmarks in this place, and it's like nobody's talking about it, nobody's doing anything about it, or if we trying to do something about it, it's not enough of us to do something about it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I need more information on this.
I will provide it, brother. I will provide it. And what I will say about those communities is there are grassroots organizations and singular people who are working towards. I was just talking to someone. I was on a call with the NAACP before I came here about sustainability and resiliency. And we were talking about the topic was supposed to be talking about a tree planting project in black communities, but we also talked about threats and opportunities like, you know, having green economy jobs on North Side, having community gardens on the North Side, creating just a variety of resources for people who are in these communities that are threatened by environmental racism. And I said, you know, I'm glad we're on this call, but I feel like there should be more publicity that this call is even happening and that somebody even cares, because if you knock on the doors and you walk down the streets in these neighborhoods, nobody has a clue that anybody's fighting for them. Right?
Wow, yeah.
And so I feel like I've worked for a nonprofit for a while, and, you know, at the higher levels, talking about city government, you know, they make a lot of moves and have a lot of conversations that never really make it to people's front doors. And there needs to be a bridge. And so I feel like I'm called to be that bridge, and I want to let the people know this is what the city is doing. This is what they're talking about. How do you feel about it? That's what the Moncrief Springs documentary is going to be about.
Can I ask you something as an environmentalist? I feel like we should go back into a shutdown. I feel like when we shut down, I feel like we treated the earth better.
There were benefits.
I feel like it was greener outside. I feel like I saw animals that I ain't seen in forever. I saw a deer when the shutdown was going on. I was like, I ain't seen a deer in so long, bro. Like,
it was proven that the earth got cleaner when the
I be trying to tell people this, bro. Like, I be trying to
think about when people were quarantined. Literally, nobody was driving cars. There was no public transit.
The air was so much nicer to breathe. Like, it just felt good outside. Like, I was walking so much during during the pandemic.
Right.
And, like, the world opened back up, and you just slowly saw it just drifting right back into the same. I think even the global warming improved during the pandemic because of what was going on. It's like, God literally showed us, like, this is the proof if you guys start moving like this.
And it didn't take a lot of time. In that
It literally
short
was
amount
like,
of time when everybody was quarantined and the city was shut down, particularly in Florida, environmentalists reported that more wildlife was active in the ocean. The manatees returned. The air quality was better.
Bro, I hate this universe.
The temperature was better, and it was in a very short amount of time. And I'm gonna plug this. I know we're talking about film, but I want to encourage people. You may have a particular interest, and there's a filmmaking opportunity for that. Whether you want to talk about education, whether you want to talk about environmentalism, whether you want to talk about crime, there's a platform for you. But on that call, it was the NAACP Environmental Climate Justice Committee. Anybody can join the call. If you are breathing air, you should be an environmentalist. If you swim at the beach, you should be an environmentalist. If you eat any fresh produce, you should be an environmentalist. I'm not even going to talk about where our food comes from and the quality. So I'm trying to figure out how to go on a plant-based diet. So it's very important that us as filmmakers raise these issues. And even as you're talking about your film project, you keep talking about your sister, and it's kind of like it's actually been touching my heart, because people need to learn how to process grief.
Yeah.
And when you put that element in your story, it gives people something to connect to, and it's a teaching tool. And I know so many times I've watched movies and I learned something about myself and something about the world around me.
Right.
But I could just go on and on. But as filmmakers, I feel like we're the prophets. Musicians, we're the prophets. Artists, we're the prophets. Because we talk about, what's going on in our communities, and I think we have like a spiritual insight to help people find their way.
We're the voice.
Artist, spiritual.
Yes.
We're the voice.
So
We're the voice.
like, and it just piggybacks on what you said about the prophets. Like, we are the messenger.
We are the messengers.
Yeah, right.
There you go.
All right.
That's it.
You have to spread your message. Everybody's message is different. Everybody's cause is different, but you have to bring it.
I wish we took more pride in it.
Say that again.
Like, I wish we took more pride in it as creators of, like, I think the older creators, like the older artists, I think that's the disconnect now. Whereas, like, I think creators now, a lot of people are creating for what they can get from it versus creating what they can give. Yeah.
Say that.
And me myself, like, I got veterans, you know what I mean? I got friends, I got men that DM me all the time, be like, hey bro, that song right there, bro, I'm glad you put that song out. I done got guys walk up to me after the show and in tears, like, hey bro, when you was talking about your depression and wanting to do this and that to yourself, like, I felt that, bro, this and that third. So like I take pride in it specifically. When I first started rapping, I was just rapping, you know what I mean? I was just putting words together, and it wasn't it was but it wasn't like connecting. Nice. And then I said, you know what, I'm finna rap about what I'm really going through. Let me go talk about my baby mamas and what we got going on real quick.
Yeah, that's how you connect.
It just connected, and I was like, you know what, this is what I want. I want the people to feel emotionally connected to my art. That's how I feel about the movies. I don't do anything without like a purpose. Of course, as an actor, I'm gonna take different roles, but like anything that me personally I'm involved in, that I'm like, I do it with pride, and I want others that watching it or like influenced by it to like really understand that it's a real passion. I'm not doing this for accolades. I'm not doing this for money. Right. I do this because I want to, and I want to put this out, and I feel like God gave me my purpose, and my purpose is to put this energy out in the world and to, I almost said touch people, but that's a pause.
My God. But I do want to say this,
impact people. There you go. Impact.
Yeah, impact. I do want to say this though, because the biggest question I get when it comes to this casting call is that the first time actors, first timers. And some people have told me that they're scared, they're nervous, they're like, all of these emotions they're getting just to step a foot in the casting call. And even though I'm the filmmaker, I'm gonna make the decisions at the end of the day, I still encourage people. You know what I mean? I still take that extra initiative and be like, because I think about it, I to be honest with you, I never get casting call from an actor standpoint to another director. But being on the front side of it all the time, I kind of, let them know they don't have to be nervous. I let them know what they need to do. I encourage people. I take time to talk to people.
Let me ask you a quick question, because somebody said something to me. I want to do this before we wrap up.
Okay.
Are you gonna always star in your movies? Somebody literally said like Los and Adolfo, they star in their own movies all the time.
Like
I would like to see them, and I would like to see them do a movie where they aren't starring in it. Do you ever think about because Ice Cube does the same thing?
Cameos or what?
Well, it just depends on the material. Like some films, probably not. Some I don't mind. Because it's something I would
like the Jordan Peele thing. Like, can you see you just slipping into the Jordan Peele?
Yeah, absolutely.
Where you just choose one actor like Daniel Kaluuya and just keep making projects.
Yeah, because it's hard to do both.
I suggest that I should be Daniel Kaluuya.
It's definitely
it's hard to do both. Yeah, absolutely. Because but the good thing is, the good thing about it, like if you're not playing in your own films or whatever, like I will say this, like you can focus everything on the directing and the filming part, and you have more of a control on that. You know what I mean? So you don't have to explain to anybody how to shoot it the way I would like to shoot it. So that's the pro of that side. But yeah, it just depends on the project.
Well, tell the people anything that you want to promote. Again, we got the casting call on Sunday at Mixed Therapy. What time is it at again?
So it starts at doors open at 2, close at 5. So if you're not signed in by 5 p.m., you have to do virtual.
9951 Atlantic Boulevard at Mixed Therapy Studios. Come out to the casting call for The Future Soul. And Miss Dana, anything that you want?
Yeah, I would love to connect with y'all on social. I'm going to be sharing a lot of content about my upcoming project, Moncrief Springs, the documentary. I have some requests. If anybody's listening, I'm looking for some caterers to work with to provide craft services.
Oh, we know
for
a lot of
my,
caterers. Oh my God.
Crew. I will be doing a pitch party to share with people officially what the documentary is going to be about. And I'm fundraising. If you want to sponsor, contribute, if you have a business, I'm looking for $50,000. I've already raised 10.
Nice.
And so if someone would like to sponsor or contribute to the Moncrief Springs documentary, it's for the betterment of our community and it's for the betterment of our people. And I'm really proud to have the opportunity to do this work right now. You can follow me on social media, Michelle Maule on Facebook, Dana Michelle _904 on Instagram. And I would love to connect with you, brothers. I'm just so thankful.
Oh, yeah.
that
Already on it, right?
I want to say I want you to sit down with Los and get Los that grant money.
Okay.
That because I think that it's one of those situations where we can't ask for the help because we don't know who to ask, but you can clearly just know how to get it,
Right.
and I feel like Los would be even more impressive and even more like valuable if he was able to financially secure some funds to support these films.
Absolutely.
So if y'all can have a conversation off like camera, please do, because I'm starring in most of his movies, and I want him to have more money so he can pay me more money.
Okay, and I'm with that.
I wanna
I
pay
support
everybody
that.
more money, yeah.
I support that.
My brother.
Hey, listen, we're going to go to Todd Rubin's office together and
Hey,
talk.
look.
That's what the film commission. We're going to have a
Look.
conversation.
But yeah, because on the flip side, I would do the same thing. If I had the opportunity to like share that with people and be like, "Hey, this is how you can get these grants," I'd do it.
Shy, you got anything else you want to add before we dip out?
No, just support black filmmakers, support
Facts.
Jacksonville
Yeah, feel me?
filmmakers.
Facts.
You have all 4 black filmmakers in
Support
this
female
business.
filmmakers.
Support female
Well,
We're not supposed to
filmmakers.
we're not supposed to call them females no more. We're supposed to call
Support
them
women.
women. We call them women.
Women, females.
Yeah, we call them
Women.
women.
Okay.
We
Women
call
in
them women.
filmmaking.
I am
Women in
female and
filmmaking.
woman, so I win both ways.
Yeah.
Support.
Support. So
And follow me at Cast 2 Films on Instagram.
Cast 2
CAS
Films.
#2 Films. And yeah, that's all the questions you need about the casting call.
hey man, I'm Broadway Louie. This is Wake Up Duval County. You can follow me at Broadway Louie. You can follow the podcast at Wake Up Duval County on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. But subscribe. Please hit the likes. Please send it to all your friends. We're trying to really grow this because we want to be a platform
Hit
that
the share
you
button.
guys can depend on. So hit the share button. Send this to all your people. I like to say one person send it to 10 and just keep going. You know what I mean? Maybe 4 people will connect from it, but we want to add the numbers up. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the CEO Toya. Shout out to Mo on the boards as usual. You know what I mean? Shout out to Mari, you know what I mean, in the background. Shout out to other shorty. I don't know your name. I'm so sorry. But we love y'all. We see y'all next week.
All right, peace and love.
Appreciate it.